by being ACCA. I am Tashrita Gupta, ACCA affiliate, and with us we have Punya Agarwal, also an ACCA affiliate, and we are both the admins of being ACCA. So let's get started. Thank you so much for joining well in time so that we are able to start it off on time. So Punya, do you want to take this forward?
Yeah. So, just a quick introduction of both of us. Who are we? We are, again, as Prashita mentioned, we are two ACCA affiliates, and we both started being ACCA approximately a year back, and with the aim of helping you people, students like you, and be a small part of your journey as well. So, what is the agenda of this session? The agenda is very simple. If you have any doubts, any queries, any problems in your journey, you can share that with us. We can try and help you in that. We always are available on Instagram as well, but this is just like a live interaction in which we will be answering you live. We can discuss also if you want, if you have any issues, so we can discuss that as well. Now, a few things before we start with the session is please turn off your mic so that there's no overlap between anyone. If somebody wants to speak, they can of course turn on their mics as well. Turning on your cameras is upon your discretion. If you want to, you can turn on your cameras while you're speaking. If not, that's also completely all right. Just a disclaimer that this session will be recorded because this will be posted upon our YouTube channel. So just a disclaimer to that, and any type of misconduct will not be tolerated. So before we start with our discussion and the question and answer round, we'll just brief you about some of the services that we provide at Being ACCA. Firstly, are the planners for the March attempt. They are still available. Of course, the planner for the start, which started from 15th of December, is not yet is now not available. But you can definitely take from the 25th December or the customized one. And then the second thing that we offer at Being ACCA is the test series for PM, FM, and AA. This will same be there for the March attempt as well, and we'll soon be releasing all the details and the pricing as well for that as well. So stay tuned for that. So just a brief about us. This was just a brief about us. So let's start the discussion. If you have any questions, if you want, you can drop in the chat box, or even you can unmute yourself and speak to us. So I think we are good to go.
I'm sure you guys joined because you have questions to ask. Please feel free to ask the questions now. We are here to answer them right on the spot. Just for those who joined late, okay. Punya, do you want to take the question? We have one.
How to obtain job opportunities in Big Four without being from a renowned institution, and how much can I expect as a fresher? Okay, so I think this is a very common question amongst all the students. Firstly, if you are not from a renowned institution, so there are, if you are from a college or a placement cell wherein the Big Four come, it becomes really very easy. But then if you are not, then I think companies' websites are a very good option, to be very honest with you. I have seen very many job opportunities there, and people actually get through the company's website. So, first option should be the company website. Go onto the company website, go onto the career option, and they have a lot of job listing over there, and you can select you can filter also if you are a fresher, or if you want a remote opportunity. They even have like internships also. So you can go onto the website, or else nowadays LinkedIn is also a very good option. I've seen so many people posting about the job opportunities. So you can be very active on LinkedIn, even though you are not posting, but be active and follow people from that organization in which you want to go. If you want to go in Big Four, follow people from there, because they usually post, job vacancies, and they usually demand, ask for your resume, so you can send them your resume. You can also direct message them on LinkedIn and ask them if they are aware of any job opportunities or something. Another thing that you can do is, for example, you got onto the company website and you found a job suitable for you. Pick up the job description code from there, apply from the website directly from there, but pick up the code as well and go onto the LinkedIn, message people that, hi, I am interested in this kind of a job and this is the description, can you please refer me? That just increases your chances of getting your job, like it increases your chances of getting the job. So that is again you can do. Another thing you can do is go on to other websites. One is Naukri.com. Although I know that it's not very efficient, but recently I came across a student. She got into KPMG through Naukri.com. So that was, you can hit and trial. It's just hit and trial. I think these are all the possible options. There are also, I think, walk-in interviews. Again, how can you know about them? Through LinkedIn or through maybe like the company's website only. So these are some of the options. And how much can you expect as a fresher, as we always say, in because we do not know about other companies, basically about Big Four. So it starts from 3 LPA to 6 LPA, depending upon the company and depending upon the other factors, like what industry are you going into, do you have any prior experience or not, that also depends. So for freshers, it's from 3 to 6 LPA. I hope I answered that. Okay, so we have one more question. When can we start doing a job while doing ACCA? Like when is the best time to do, and can we go for any job position, or is it necessary to go jobs in the same field? Just asking for the 3-year experience for ACCA. Okay. So, firstly, answering the question that when can you start, I tell students, like we usually tell students, start as early as possible, because there's no restriction in ACCA that you can only start your job or practical experience after you're done with 9 papers. There's nothing like that. Even in your if you are on your knowledge level, you can start working. So start searching, and as soon as you get the job opportunity, just grab it, because we are having such limitations and difficulties also in getting the job opportunities. So if you are getting one, grab it. Firstly, that thing. Secondly, can we go for any job position? To be honest, you can go with any job position, any field which you like. There's no restriction as such to that. Where can we find free resources of ACCA like books and exam kits new? Okay, Mohit. So if you follow us on our Instagram, we have a link in our bio, Linktree link in our bio, in which there is a portion of ACCA resources. We have tried to, include all the new kits and study material which are available for every paper. So you can check that out. Apart from that, if you are in our WhatsApp groups as well, people have shared the latest study text and study material, so you can check that out for your respective paper. Okay, Vishali says, hi, I just started preparing for BT and I am going doing BCom 2 in second semester. Should I write the knowledge level papers or go with other and is claim the exemptions for knowledge level? Honestly speaking, we both do not recommend students to go for exemptions, be it for knowledge level, be it BT, because they are your base level papers for skill level and professional level as well. And you are a fresher, you are doing BCom, you're in a second semester. So personally, we won't recommend you going for exemptions. You can side by side continue because knowledge level is not at all demanding. You can do it in like 1.5 months, like full paper, and then give your paper. It's not technical, it's not difficult, it's very basic. The basics are very, if you are from a commerce background, you would already know the syllabus of BT and F3. apart from the consolidation part in F3. So we do not recommend going for exemption. So if you are in your BCom, you're doing BCom, side by side complete your knowledge level and then continue with your skill level. Okay. Kashish says, can you share some tips on how to clear the exam easily and some information about the FR paper? Okay. So I think we have shared enough tips about the papers in general, but for FR specifically, if you ask us, firstly, it is all right if you're self-studying the paper. FR is basically consists of your standards, IFRSs, IAs, and consolidation is very, very important. So if you have done F3, that's like the base for your consolidation in FR. So some of the tips I would like to give you is from the day one when you're starting with your preparation of your FR, start the practice as well. For example, your first chapter is, I think, tangible assets, then it's non-tangible, the intangible assets, and you have impairment, all of these. Practice the question from these topics simultaneously, because you have particular questions from these topics as well. So that will give you an edge, as to you will be understanding the questions better, like the concepts you'll be able to understand better, because it's a mixture of theoretical, descriptive theoretical plus practical, mostly practical. And in your section C, three major topics which are important are consolidation, interpretation, and single entity. You cannot run away from them. They can be a little technical, to be honest. Interpretation can look little, easier side, that it is only ratios, we have to just talk about increase decrease. No, it's not only about increase and decrease, it's also about the reason and other calculations that you do in interpretation. So be very careful with those as well. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, so one question we have is regarding the link of our Instagram and WhatsApp group. So Instagram, for that you can simply search Being ACCA on Instagram without any spaces, and you will be able to go to our handle. And for the WhatsApp groups, the link is there for all the WhatsApp groups in our story highlights. The next question that we have is, I'm planning to write four P level papers in March. I'm giving my second attempt in two of these papers. Can I do it? So I am assuming that you are a full-time ACCA student to be able to write four exams in one attempt. If you are reattempting two of them, I think that this should be doable, considering that you will be aware of the syllabus, and it might be some aspect of the preparation that you were lagging behind in. So I think you will be able to do it, but again, this will require a lot of discipline on your end to be preparing four papers at the same time, and considering these are the four topmost level papers of the qualification.
Okay, Suyesh says, hi, I'm trying to get into consulting in Big Four firm. I have cleared 11 papers and would be a member by September. How do you suggest should I get into it, including that I have relevant experience for it? Now, the main thing is that I have been applying through LinkedIn for quite some time now. No results, and the company website makes it too difficult, and the selection of your resume, even for internships, feels like a needle in the haystack. That's actually a very true, it's very true that it sometimes becomes little difficult for you to get internships and jobs really easily, but you have to keep going at it. You have to keep applying it, because to be very honest with you people, we are in the Big Four at the moment, and we know that they are not hiring at the same level or at the same amount that they used to hire before. To be very honest, even in like our colleges, when we talk to the placement cell or the people who are there in the placement cell, they'll be like, "Ki, they used to hire 20 people, 30 people earlier, where they're only hiring 5 to 10 people now." So it is just because of the companies are not hiring as much. So you have to put in your extra efforts towards the same. One more thing you can do is, if like you are targeting a Big Four company, and particularly consulting, if you're targeting, I am in consulting in EYGDS, to be honest. So if you want if I can look some for some of the opportunities in there and tell you about that. But otherwise as well, you can go onto the LinkedIn and you can search for people who are working in consulting department firstly, and ask them if they have any job vacancy or something on those lines for you. Secondly, you can message talent acquisition people from the particular company and ask them if they have like a job vacancy for you in the company. So these two are some other things which you can do. And again, it will take time, to be honest with you. It will take time if you are, because we got into Big Four by campus placement, and to be honest, it was the easiest thing by which you can get into, companies without having any experience. If you have an experience, it becomes a little easier, but still it's difficult. I'll not lie, it is difficult. Okay. So Ruchi says, which study textbook is more reliable for AA, Kaplan, or BPP? Like, which one will be more effective? I usually suggest students to go for Kaplan. It has little, simplified language. So Kaplan from my side.
I think we missed one question in between. So Vishal had asked, college exams and ACCA exams are on consecutive days. How can we plan to prepare for both, or should we skip the exams and reschedule it? So basically, if a thing like this, first of all, plan in advance. So for college exams also, you get to know very well in time that what the date sheet is going to look like, and then plan your ACCA exams accordingly. This happened with us also. I had to skip an attempt in ACCA because I had college exams, and those were the final year exams. So they happened only the next year. So I would have had to wait another year to graduate. So that's why I prioritized my college exams and skipped that particular attempt. And then gave another exam in the next one. So this is how you will have to plan things a little bit if you are doing both the things at the same time. Uh, then we have someone asking for tips for taxation UK. So we have a lot of YouTube videos for tips on all of the papers. If there's anything specific that you would like to ask, then you're most welcome. Punya, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah. Junaid says, do you provide double A test series and evaluation at the end of syllabus, and how much is chargeable? Yeah, we do provide double A, PM, and FM. For three papers, we have test series and mock evaluation, and that we will start in February, because that's like a 1 month long kind of a thing in which we have six tests in total and one final evaluation, final mock evaluation. And the charges we'll be letting you know in February only. So.
Someone has asked, suppose I'm planning to go abroad like the UK for MSc. Can you recommend any methods through which we can secure a position like respected resume format, or is there any direct method through which we can secure jobs abroad? I'm an ACCA professional level student. Please recommend. So even I had, done tried to do some research about how masters in the UK looks like. So what I was told is that the market is currently very down in the UK, especially the recessionary pressure, if you see, is very visible in the UK. Like you can see things going down. So I would not see getting admissions is not tough over there because you have plenty of universities. Definitely, it's tougher in the recognized ones, but I have seen a lot of people go to like the lesser recognized ones because getting an admission over there is very easy. However, if you want to secure a job over there, so visa becomes an issue, then your the low level of hiring becomes an issue. But yes, there are cases that people also find jobs. So again, depends on how much hard work and how resilient you are in this entire process. Another question we have is, could you tell me a little bit about the pros and cons for the MSc in accounting that ACCA has with London University? So, if you want me to be brutally honest, we asked someone who had done this degree, and she told us that it's more of like, just having a degree, and there's not much use that you can put it to. So it's totally on your choice, because since it's a correspondence course, like you are not physically going for classes and everything, employers do not really value it this much. Similar is the case with the Oxford Brookes University degree. You just have your degree. You can tell people that, okay, I have this degree. But again, the practical usage of it is, I would say, limited. Another question that we have is, what paper order can I go for when joining for ACCA after doing BCom and getting 4 paper exemption completed by BCom and looking forward to ACCA, a bit overwhelmed and have some doubts. So it's totally okay to have your doubts. This is a big decision that you're making to pursue a professional qualification. So the paper order that we would recommend if you're getting 4 papers exempted is FR, because it's similar to what we have studied. Then go for AA because there's a carry forward. Then you go for maybe tax. Tax should be done alone. Then PM and FM, you can do either. Before that does not matter, and you can also do FM and PM first and then go for tax. Just do tax alone. If you want to combine 2 papers, combine FR and AA or PM and FM. However, if you're just starting out after getting 4 exemptions, I would recommend that you go for FR alone once so that you understand how the qualification works, how papers are conducted, and everything, and then you go for combinations of papers. Then for the professional level, we recommend starting with the compulsory one, which is SBR. SBL we do not recommend starting with because it is a lot professional. You get used to the professional level papers once you finish all of them, or maybe 1, 2, 3 papers of the 4, and then you go for the SBL exam. So after you've done your SBR, then you go for one of the optionals, then you go for SBL, and then for the second optional paper that you think you're going to appear for. So this is basically the order in which you can write your ACCA exams. Punya, do you want to take the next one while I catch some breath?
Yeah. Okay, Mehak says, how can I start studying for FR paper? As I mentioned earlier, you can start with the chapter number 1. Start just one thing I would recommend is that start your practice simultaneously. Do the practice simultaneously, and you'll be good to go for FR. There's nothing much to do, in it's not very technical, to be honest. It's more of accounting base, which we all love. If we are doing ACCA, we should love accounting. So you can watch certain YouTube videos also on YouTube, and if you are self-studying the paper, if you're taking classes, you can just watch your classes, do the questions simultaneously, and you'll be good to go with FR paper. Sundar says, are there any study techniques? Are there any study techniques that you guys use, like flashcards, spaced repetition, active recall? No, 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 nothing like this. No.
This sounds such a technical jargon. We did not use any fancy techniques. We just studied and cleared our exams.
Okay, so Nali says, ma'am, please can you tell right time to start a PER? As I mentioned, you can start your PER any time in your ACCA journey. We recommend students to start as soon as they can, so that once they have completed their 13 papers, they're also towards their membership. So start as soon as you can.
What would be the score and skill level exam to be eligible for OBU degree? So basically, your eligibility depends only upon you clearing the exams and not any specific scores. However, when you appear for your OBU degree, there are 2 components of how you're graded. So first of all, you have your class of honors, which is first class honors, second class honors, upper first. There are a lot of categories like that. And then the grade. So the grade A, B, C solely depends on the project work that you submit, and the class of your degree, the upper first class honors, that depends on the average of the marks that you have obtained in this degree. If you go to the OBU website, they have the entire criteria written that if your average of marks comes out to this much, you will get this much. So this is how you will be graded in the OBU degree. Another question is, if is it possible to get into FP&A, investment banking, asset management, private equity, or any other finance job right after ACCA? I have 6 months of experience in an audit firm. Definitely, this is possible because you only have started out in the audit firm. 6 months practically counts as being a starter. So definitely, this is like would be a field shift. So yeah, you might have to, you might be questioned in the job interview that why do you want to switch your industry at such an early stage. So you would want to have a right answer prepared for that, and yeah, you can totally go for that. Is it possible to write three papers in June, like F7, F8, and F5? I have 5 months. Please tell me. So, what I would suggest is instead of attempting three in the same attempt and taking 5 months, I would suggest that you appear for one in March, or maybe one or two in March, and then the other one in June attempt. Because instead of putting all of your eggs in the same basket in the June attempt, might be risky. You might not be able to focus on the three exams because you will have a lot on your plate. So I would recommend you either attempt two and one or one and two as you feel like. You can combine F7 and F8 because they go well, and F5, as it is famous also for having such low pass rates, you can attempt it individually. So Suyash says, I have been a placement head in my college and helped many, have helped placed my seniors, ACC affiliates. The thing that I have noticed personally is the maximum package they get is 5 to 6 LPA. Would you guys like to share any tips to secure better packages considering you're an ACC affiliate in case 1 and ACC member in case 2? So, talking about ACC affiliates, basically when you are starting out, companies usually come with a fixed salary package that they're going to offer you. A very few companies would be open to negotiation when they are coming out for fresher roles. Negotiation usually happens when you are an experienced professional and you're switching jobs from one company to another. That is when you get to negotiate. When it comes to being placed for the first time in your life, you've never worked, you just finished college, so or finished your degree, become an ACC affiliate. Very few companies will be open to negotiate. So I'm not really sure if there are any tips to secure any better packages, because starting may getting a job itself is the big deal, and then money comes later. Considering the second case in which you're an ACCA member, assuming that you would have work experience with which you have completed your ACCA membership, that is when probably you can negotiate that, okay, I have this much of experience backing me, and that is the reason why I'm asking for a better pay. So, yeah. Then Sundar says there's a lot of confusion regarding the pay package for ACCA freshers. Can you clarify that with regards to different job roles? So basically, talking about big fours or even like for the small firms, I do not really have a lot of idea. But for big fours, no matter what the industry, like consulting, audit, tax, 3 to 6 LPA remains the average pay package that is offered. Punya, do you want to take the next
Rushali,
ones?
yes, yeah. Rushali says I'm doing BCom as well as with ACC as well with ACCA, but my college as such doesn't offer campus placement. So should I think of applying like through LinkedIn? Of course, yes, of course. If your college doesn't have a good placement cell, your priority should be through company website and LinkedIn only, and start as soon as you can. Then somebody says would like to go for options AFM and AAA. So is there any content in these two that is in continuation from skill? Of course, these are extension of your skill level papers. These are a step up of your skill level paper. So AAA is an extension of your AA paper, and AFM is of course the extension of FM paper. So there is an extension. Is 1 month possible to prepare for F like I have Jan month can be a little difficult to be very honest with you because F5 is little technical on the technical side. Your pass percentages are also not very good for F5. 1 month is typically little lesser. So if you can devote like 1.5 at least like full January and then little part of your February as well. If you have some obligation or if you have some prior commitment in February, I would recommend to complete your syllabus as soon as you can in January itself with enough practice, and in February you can revise your concepts every day, or like do some practice every day, so that you are in touch with the paper. So if you want, yes, you can do it in 1 month, but again, do not compromise upon your practice part of it. Like, complete your syllabus as soon as you can, and then start with the practice. Start your practice simultaneously, and then when you have some other obligation as well in February, do not forget to practice for the paper, because then you'll forget the concepts and it will go waste. So yeah. Does height matter when applying for job? No, no, Vishali, no. Height doesn't matter. Your experience and your capabilities and your skills matter. Okay, Mohit says, ma'am, if a student have only done ACCA, does not have any certificate like financial modeling, Excel, then what is this package? The package remains the same. And another student done ACCA with certificate like financial modeling, Excel. See, the package remains the same. These are like the extra courses that you do, financial modeling, Excel, just to upskill yourself and be better at the job that you are doing, and also just to boost boost up yourself in the interview that you are giving, that yes, I have a certification of financial modeling, Excel, all of these. But the package remains the same. You have to have like a good qualification or an experience to be able to negotiate in the interview. So yeah. So Yash says, since you guys are working in Big Four firm, what do you think are the skills that someone has that makes them an ideal choice for getting hired? Example, financial modeling, etc. Also, could you probably help me refer in EVA GDS? Yeah, sure. Okay, so honestly, see, because we both came as a fresher in our respective firms, we did not have any type of other, skills or qualifications apart from ACCI, of course. So, to be honest, they will teach you every little thing. You do not have to have a lot of knowledge about lot of things. You have to have a basic knowledge. Ideal choice, I don't think there's any ideal choice. If they think that you're capable, you have an experience, you have this qualification, you have done your bachelor's, they'll be ready to hire you. And if your interview goes well, then I don't really think that you need any extra skills just to get be ideal choice for them. Just give your interview really well, have your resume made up really well, and yeah, you will be good to go. And for reference in EYGDS, do DM me. I will tell you what's the situation there. Okay. Rushali says, wanted your advice on like, should I write double A in March, having my semester exams in February, finishing up by 14th and 12th to 14th February. See, Rushali, you still have approximately 1.5 months to prepare for double A. Because you have your finishing up your, because BCom, I think if you are not very if you're not very tensed, or you're not very conscious about your marks in semester exams, or you're not very if you think that you can manage it, you should go with double A for March rem for sure, provided that you start with your preparation early. I hope that you have started your preparation by now, and finish up your syllabus as soon as you can. Like, finish up your syllabus in 20 or 25th of till 20 or 25th of January, and then you can start with the practice of it. Like, you can just practice for double A, do 3 to 4 questions every day, and also prepare for your semester exams. I think that will be the best thing that you can go ahead with.
Do we have to do practicing through our computer, and what computer skills do we need for going for the exams, like about Excel sheet and all? So basically, firstly talking about the skills you need, it's all very basic Excel functions. Probably in PM and FM, you will learn the formula of NPV and IRR to be used in your ACCA spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that is provided over there is very like a reduced form of Excel. It does not even have all of the functions that Excel has. So you need very basic skills. Usually, the tutors that you study with will tell you how to use these formulas in the exam, and Word is like very basic again. If you know just know how to operate a computer, that would be enough. And yes, if you practice through your computer while you are preparing for your exams, that will definitely make your life easier because you will have the exact, you will be used to using the computer to write or type your answers. And then when you are in your actual exam, it will be easier for you because you will be more well versed with working in the computer setup. So that's about that. Then someone asks, please give tips for FA and BT. Can we both together? Can we give both together? Definitely, FA and BT can be given together. We also prepared for FA and BT together. So. Even though there's no syllabus overlap, but just the fact that these two papers are somewhat what we have previously also studied, BT business studies and FA, the accounts that we study in 11th and 12th. So yeah, pretty much, we tend to pick up concepts easily because we have studied about it in the past. So now this is the interesting question that I wanted to answer. Does internal switch in companies in Big Four still work? For example, entering in audit and switching into consulting in the same firm. So talking about personal experience and also the experience of someone who I know, this really, usually in the interviews, they'll tell you, yeah, we're very flexible, whenever you want, you can switch to whichever department you want to. But when it comes to actually practically doing this takes lots and lots of months. And if you do not like the field that you're currently in, you remain stuck. You cannot go to another going to another company is tough. Migrating to another field in the same company is also tough. So basically, it's all on them.
So I have a personal experience in here. Like I work in Mumbai, and I am in consulting, but it's not core consulting to be honest. And I had an interest in audit. So now I have to shift. I have to make an internal shift, internal switch. Now it's a thing that you can only switch after a year or year and a half, and before that you cannot switch. And also there's a discrepancy in the position. Like if you go into the firm as a staff one or a staff two, you have some discrepancy in terms of if you do not have anything extra. Like I completed my ACCA after I joined the firm, so that is where that is a thing for me that I can boast about, that yes, I am an ACCA affiliate, so do please give me the position, the same level position or a position level higher. But if you do not have anything extra during that period that you have worked in the firm, they will not give you a position up. So that is also a little demotivating factor to work in the same company. So it's better obviously to switch to some other company and not do internals. Sarthak says, I'm not able to decide which field should I select currently. I give my seventh paper FR in December. Which field? I did not get the question. Like, are you?
So Punya, I think he probably wants to ask, tell that he's not able to decide that whether he wants to go into audit or tax or consulting, like which direction is he headed to. So currently, you are on your seventh paper. You will get to know a little bit more about the fields when you are writing your professional papers also. So probably by then you might make up your mind. And honestly, when you are just starting out, trying out anything can also be the option. If you really don't know where your interest lies, you can just get into whatever opportunity that you get and see if that works for you. If that doesn't, you can probably think of switching.
Piyush says, ma'am, can you please share more details regarding EPSM and PER? How can we complete it? So we have a video about EPSM on our YouTube channel. You can check that out. And for PER is nothing but your practical experience if you're working somewhere. And this is again a very, a very common question, that shall we work with only approved employers of ACCA and then only we'll be able to get the PER? That's not, there's nothing like that. If you are working in some other company as well and they have like somebody who is a CA or has done ICWA or something on those lines, CMA as well, you can get your PER signed by them. So that's not a big issue in getting the PER signed. So yeah. So Yash says, what do you think is the best big four now that you are working in one? Which one has the best working experience, working environment and packages, etc.? To be honest, every big four has similar working environment. It depends upon lot of factors even inside the company. Like it depends upon your team, it depends upon your program that you're working in. There can be a scenario in which I'm not giving out anything over here regarding my company or something, but if you're working in supposedly in audit domain and you have two separate programs, one program can have a very healthy and very a light working environment, it's not toxic at all or something. But if you there can be some the different another program which can have little toxic environment, not very good environment, I would say. So it totally depends upon the program leads, the managers, senior managers as well. So best big four I'm not aware of, we have only touched two are still to go. Okay. Does a Big Four accepts if you try to negotiate an ACCA subscription fee to be paid by them? No, 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 no. They'll tell you ki if they some of the Big Fours, like in audit, I have heard that they do pay your subscription fees, but you cannot really negotiate on that because these are like this is the very smaller amount. You should not actually negotiate on these things. This you can get.
Also,
Yeah.
it depends on which arm of the big fours that you are with. So if you are probably, let's suppose, with Deloitte India, EY India, so they probably might not pay your ACCA subscription. They would be happy to reimburse your Indian Chartered Accountancy membership fees, but not really for ACCA. So it depends. If you are with GDS, they probably might, or like the global services, domain, they might do that, but not for like the Indian ones.
Sabah says, can you please guys make a video on how to make a perfect? We have posted a video already on our YouTube channel. Please check that out. I have an off-topic question. What do you both consider as the biggest motivation to study? Any particular movies, books, or YouTube channels, or anything else? So, talking about myself, I am somebody who cannot study a lot. So, the biggest motivation I used to have is that I have to complete my ACCA as soon as possible just to get that tag, and also because the opportunities get open. I Movies and books are not my motivation, to be very honest. The only thing that motivates me personally is that it will help my career grow, it will help me get good opportunities, and yeah, so that you can let them know about your motivation too.
So again, my motivation was to like finish with ACCA as soon as I can, because this is something that this is a part of your education. I wanted to complete it as soon as I can, so that I can also get to say in family gatherings or my friends circle that I am a qualified chartered accountant now. So that I think comes from within. Once you pick up such a qualification that gives you a professional pedestal, then I think the motivation should come from within. If it's not coming from within, then there might be something wrong.
Okay. Junaid says FM and AA. Which one should I choose for March attempt considering hectic EY business season from Jan to March, and I'm not expecting any leaves for the preparation as well. I think we discussed this earlier as well. See, if you have started with one paper, I think you have already started with audit, studying for audit. I think you should continue with that only. But if you think no, I cannot, because of course, your AA pass percentage is far lesser than FM, sorry. And technicality, if I talk about FM is mostly practical and AA is, descriptive. So if you think that you are good in practical aspect of your studies, then go ahead with FM, I would say. But if you have already started with AA and you are, through some of the chapters, you've done few concepts and you think that you will be able to manage that paper with your busy season, then I think you should go with FM.
So someone has asked, could you please tell me how should we write the answers for long type questions, and how will the sections be divided in the question paper, and how many questions will there be to attend? So basically, this depends on which exam you're giving. Usually, this classification will differ from the three levels that we have in ACCA. If you want to get to know more about the paper that you are starting with, you can DM us and we'll try to help you.
Suyash says, how easy is it to switch to another big four when you are already working in one? Do they pay generally better since you'll be switching? What is the right time to switch a company, a year or two? Okay, so yes, switching is a very good option to be honest, and you do get, if you have a past experience with a big four, the other big four that you're going to, they take you easy, little easier than the person who is just starting or maybe worked in a smaller firm and then is coming to the big four. So definitely that's like a good thing. So talking about the pay, of course, pay also depends upon the last CTC that you had. So as far as I have done the research and asked my colleagues and seniors about the same, they told me that whatever, so it's best is when, so what happens in Big Four is when you're starting in staff level one, right? And after 1 year, you will be promoted or progressed to staff level two. Now, the best time if you want to switch in a year is when you have gotten that progression and you have gotten that increment in your salary, in your CTC. That is the best time that you can switch, because then you will be able to say into in the interview that this is the salary package that I got used to get in my earlier job, and now I expect a raise of this much amount in my new, because of that this is this thing, right? You can mention your experiences or whatever achievements you have done in your previous job. So the best is after 1 year to be specific, but if you think you'll not be able to manage in 6 months as well in the current company, then I think you can manage switch after 6 months as well.
So we have a question: should I work with CA firms? So for your PER, it totally works. Like we have also chartered accountants who are exempted from all of the exams. They just have to give the last four exams, and they use the same articleship that they did in their chartered accountancy as the PER in ACCA. So that totally is all right. You can do that. How can we solve the interpretation of financial statement on MSXL in an attractive way for my FR paper? My humble request to you for making a video on this topic. So we will note this down and we will try to come up with a video on this. Just one thing that immediately comes to my mind regarding this is that tabulate your ratios, whichever ratios that you are calculating. Make three columns. First, the name of the ratio. Second, in which you are probably writing just the formulas. And the third one, wherein you are actually performing the calculations. So, this is what immediately comes to my mind. We will try to make a video on this. I registered for ACCA, then the ACCA registration fees. Like 3K ki jagah 9K. I am not really sure if I understand what you're trying to ask.
Talking about the registration fees, currently I think it is 3 to 4 thousand INR. So you can reframe your question better and then we'll be able to answer it.
Punya, do you want to take the next one?
What are your plans for the future academic wise? What do you think would be a PG course that would also use my ACCA qualification as well? So personally, my future plans academic wise, I do not see myself doing any masters at the moment, like currently in a year or so. I want to gain that experience. So I'm working towards that as well. So yeah, Tushita, do you want to add on something?
I think you've pretty much covered it. The thing is that, the field wherein you work, it depends on that. So, if you're working probably, let's say, in audit, you don't really need a master's degree because it's not going to add any value. If you're an ACCA, if you're an Indian CA, you don't really need a master's degree to continue in the field where you want to be. So, if you have your field very clear with you, probably if you're in finance, then an MBA finance would be definitely a value addition. So it totally depends on your own choices.
So
Could you
Sundar,
go on? Go on.
Sundar says, can you please explain about the work environment in consulting field? Is it toxic? What are the work hours like for each field? So it is not toxic. By toxic, I didn't mean that it is legit toxic or they will, do something to you. No, it depends upon again, as I said, the team, the program. It's not, I cannot generalize consulting field. The working environment is obviously good. The people in your team and in, like, personally, if you ask me, the people, the colleagues in my team are really very good. They're very supportive and they're usually very supportive when you are a fresher. So they'll support you a lot in terms of your, because they know that you are a fresh and do not have a lot of experience, do not have a lot of exposure to a lot of things. So they will help you. Working hours again depends upon your program and your field and the company. Usually it's 9 hours. It is 9 hours. In EY, it is flexible. Like there's no shift. Like there's no 9 to 5 that I have to work and log in by 9 or log off by 5. There's nothing like that. Like that. If I finish my work earlier, I can log off, and I have to be available for them, but I can log off or I can log in my as per my convenience. That if someday I feel like no, I want to log in at 12, so I can do that as well. But again, this depends from company to company and also from your program to program. Nitish says, are you planning to do MBA? Not me. I don't think Tushita also wants to do MBA
No
currently.
thanks.
Currently, yeah. Okay, so it says, could you please share some of the experiences, learnings in Big Four? To be honest, it's been 6 months at the moment. Like to me, it is 6 months. I joined in July. Learning and experience. See, learning is you have to be, the harsh reality I would say is you have to be little harder and little bolder to the people that you're working with. They will take advantage of you at some point or the other. So you have to be a little bolder. Experience can be good and bad. I have had both. Like as I mentioned, the team members are really supportive, really good. They treat you like you are a fresher and you do not know anything, and they teach you from scratch. So that is a very good thing. You get to learn a lot of things there. But again, it comes with cons as well. So yeah.
We have some surprising reactions from people. Also, one harsh thing that I learned during whatever the months I've spent is that you get punished for working efficiently. If you do work, you finish it before time, you get more work to do. So, try to set up boundaries when you are assigned a work. Definitely performing better is something that everyone wants, so that they are given bonuses and everything. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that the bonuses are limited. It's not like everyone is trying to aim for those bonuses, so everyone is working very hard. You have to consider yourself as well, your own health, your own mental health, physical health, both of the things. So be very mindful of what is the time frame that is to be taken, and how much time you are taking it. Even if you're done probably 2 to 3 hours in advance, tell them after maybe an hour has passed, so that you are not overworking yourself. So that's what I have also learned.
Very true. Okay.
So many people are going for ACCA, so just asking an opinion, will ACCA or any professional course lose its scope?
It's
Not
actually
really.
better if people are doing more of ACCA. I think more now, more when we started, people didn't know much about ACCA, and we did not see a lot of people talking about ACCA. But now, because people have started doing ACCA and they see a scope in it, that is the reason I think the scope, or actually the demand of it, is increasing. So how do you answer when someone says but Indian CA तो ज़्यादा tough है और top पे ही रहेगा? Ignorance is bliss. Ignore करो. तुम्हें पता है, you know where you are and where you will be, and you know your worth. So कोई और बताएगा, कोई और बोलेगा, तो उसके बोलने से हम नहीं सुनते. So ignorance is bliss.
Should we start an internship after completing 9 exams or even before with Big Four? Totally depends on you. If you get an opportunity at anywhere in your journey, do grab it. I
Mohit says,
am. Go.
I am connected with a LinkedIn student and ask books when they says कि मैं आपको अपनी coaching institute से knowledge level की books purchase करके दूंगा. The price of per subject is 2K. Then what can we for? No, no, no. You don't have to purchase anything. They see. Here I know that there can be people in this call right now who would be associated with some institute or something for their coachings. So we're not degrading them or something, but these books are not at all, efficient. If you have your official books, if you have Kaplan BP, why are you going for institute particular books? Your BPP and Kaplan kits are very well available online, free of cost. So why do you have to spend more than 2000 rupees on a particular book? So in our opinion, that's a big no.
It's not required in the first place.
Yeah.
If it was, spending money on something that's really needed, that's not a problem. But the problem arises when you're unnecessarily spending money on something that's not even required. So, yeah. How much time should I spend on F5? I got exemptions of 4 papers. Do I have to study F2 also for F5? So now that you have already claimed your exemptions, I would say that the base actually for F5 lies in F2 completely. So it would give you an advantage if you have done some part of F2. So probably if you find any soft copy of the book online, try to read through the book once before you get started for F5. And if you have taken exemptions, I would really recommend that you do not self study for it, because the base is something you have missed. You have taken an exemption for that, so it would be better for you if you take some classes, or if not even if full-fledged classes, you may go for revision courses where at least you get to learn it from a tutor's expertise. That's what I would suggest. And how much time should you spend? You should rather than allocating number of hours every day, you should allocate number of topics. Like, this topic is something that I have to complete by today. So if that takes 2 hours, take 2 hours. If that takes 5 hours, study for 5 hours. That's the thing. The next question is, what benefits does one notice when he or she becomes an FCCA? Could you tell a little about the CA for Ireland, since they have a collaboration with ACCA, and how to take a benefit of the same? So basically, first answering about the FCCA. So you get the status of FCCA after you have completed 5 years of your being a member. So the benefit comes in the form of your work experience. You have 5 years after you have become a member, so probably like around 8 years of work experience that comes out to. So definitely this will make you more make you look more respectable. Recognition will follow through. So those will be some of the benefits that you will notice. And talking about the Ireland CA, where they have a collaboration, so there I think it's for the ACCA members, that if you have the membership, I think there's some criteria. You might have to give an exam or two to have the Ireland CPA as well. So you will have to check on the details for that. Any other questions? We have finally exhausted the list of questions that was coming through.
And I think it's been an hour as well
Yeah,
session
it's
here.
been on.
So any final questions? We can definitely take them
Before,
up and
yeah.
then we'll wrap up the session. Mohit,
How
there's one.
many
Go
hours?
ahead, please.
How many hours daily required for studying ACCA? Because someone says 8 to 10 hours study compulsory. I know. So honestly, very honestly, we have never divided our study according to the number of hours. This is more like an Indian CA thing that, oh,
Yeah.
मैं तो इतने घंटे पढ़ता हूँ. I study for these many hours a day. My course is so tough. I think they have this tendency of gaining sympathy on that. No offense, but this is how the norm works. So talking about ACCA, if you divide your concepts, if you divide your syllabus well, uh, you will be able to obtain like a efficient way of doing it. You will not have to put in long hours every day. If you divide your topics well, if you are starting timely, the pressure eventually reduces if you are doing your things the right way instead of letting it all pile up. So if you pile everything up, then eventually you might have to put in 12 hours a day. So what's the benefit? Okay, any other questions?
Any other final questions?
I think we've had so many questions today,
Yeah.
more than the last time.
Yeah, yeah, of course. We had a lot. think we do not have anything else. So we'll wrap up this session. Thank you so much, everyone who joined. And let us know if we missed on any of your questions because there can be a scenario. But thank you so much for joining the session. It was a great time talking to you people, answering you, and yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
And we're always available on DM, so you can anytime DM us for any of the questions. We do not let any of the DMs go unanswered. We both make sure of that.
Yeah.